it's Vera Golosova here, and this is very unusual backdrop for me. You may ask, where are you? And I will tell you, I'm in my library. And the sad thing about this awesome and short phrase is that we are divided with my library now most of the time, because this you see on the background is my library in my home in Moscow. And as you may know, I live in Spain now. And some choices need to be made today, because I need to choose just a few books that I will take with me. And I want to be honest with you. For a long time, I really wanted to try doing these booktube-ish type of videos, but I never knew where to start. And I decided to try to start with you with this talk about me missing my library, about me being separated from my library, about the importance of libraries. And it will be this reminder for me on the channel about my library. When I was thinking what I want to show you is, I was thinking doing awesomely produced book tour, shelf tour, but it happens that I have to go to the airport in 5 or 6 hours. And yes, I kind of procrastinated the recording of this video for many weeks, but I really wanted to do it. So yes, I really want to do booktube-ish videos, because the only thing that I can talk endlessly about is books. It's not even art, it's not life, it's not parenting, it's not immigration, it's books. Stories, comics, manga, novels, translated literature, reading in the other languages, learning languages, speaking with words. But I'm afraid that I will be a bad booktuber because I don't read enough. I read slowly. I don't like to read trendy things. My tastes are sometimes peculiar, so I wonder if I can be successful as a booktuber. But anyways, the booktubers that I enjoy the most are the people who present themselves in a very authentic way, and they just speak about their tastes. And for some of them, this is a hobby. For some of them, this is the full-time job. For me, for now, it's just experiment. And this is the way how I'm trying to kind of pull down the level of expectations from myself. And today we're gonna be speaking about some of the favorite items that I have in this library, and unfortunately they will stay here. I won't take them with me because I only have one suitcase, and I already bring some books for a friend. So I have maybe at best 5 or 6 kilos for books, which is nothing if you speak about really beautiful editions, and I have them. In this library here I have stand with mostly books in English, and here's mostly books in Russian and some art albums. And let me show you some of the beautiful items that I have here. So some of them are the ones that I've read, some of them the ones I didn't read, and some of them are, for example, the ones that I've read in Russian, but then I later bought them in English, or some of them I just wanted to have them in a beautiful edition. And I will start with a very beautiful edition of Lord of the Rings, not other than. And my husband gave it to me as a gift, this beautiful edition. It's Fellowship of the Ring 50th anniversary edition. Hardcover, very beautiful. And I have the part 2 and part 3 also in a very beautiful hardcovers, but unfortunately not 50th anniversary edition. And I really want to reread Lord of the Rings in English because I'm a huge fan, and I read Lord of the Rings in my early year when I was a teenager and young adult, and I read them Lord of the Rings in Russian, and now I really want to do original reading, but this is not my first priority, and I won't read it now. So let's see. Actually, that's very uncomfortable that I have to hold, because you are quite far from me, and this is my type of the recording the audio, and I cannot hold books with two hands, and that's stupid. Let's try to arrange the talking point. I decided to go down and sit on the floor actually, so I'll have both of my hands, and my mic will be there, so I can show you some of the nice editions that I have. And one of the books that I was really happy to obtain this year, actually it's very lucky and very recent find, is this. It's very heavy, very beautiful. 2-book edition of Meta Barons by Alejandro Jodorowsky and Juan Jimenez. And the thing is that I really wanted to have these 2 books for many years, and they were out of print actually, unfortunately. There were spin-offs and Techno Priests, I think, but I don't really like those stories. I really craved Juan Jimenez art, which is outstanding. I mean, the amount of details is just like, you cannot. And it smells divine, absolutely. And I need to actually finish it today, because I read the first book and I still need to finish the last 2 pieces of the story before I go to the airport. Because these 2 books, they weigh, I think, like 2 kilos at least, and they are not going with me. One of the very specific editions for me is the Never-Ending Story by Michael Ende, and it's fully illustrated edition. It's huge. It's like, look at this next to my face. It's very big, and it has absolutely amazing full-drawn illustrations. And I actually bought it to read with my son, which didn't happen yet. But we watched together the movie last year, and I really hope that I can lure him into the book, but most probably we'll have to read digital copy. Yeah. Okay, let's see how you can... I will open the app. Can you still see me? I hope you can. I hope you can, because here I have a lot of really nice books as well, and I didn't really make any list. I think I need to readjust again. To be honest, I didn't make any list of the books I want to talk about, because as you can imagine, this is very precisely collected library, which I was collecting for years. And needless to say, it's impossible to make top 5 or top 10, even top 20 books from these shelves. And I wanted to show you just random ones, the ones that I really love and the ones that I didn't read yet and the ones that have very special edition. Like this book is called Dangerous Work. It's in Russian, but it's originally by Conan Doyle. And these are actually Conan Doyle's diary, which he wrote as a 21-year-old medical student, when he had a very unexpected offer to go into the 6-month polar journey on the whale hunting boat. And it became really unusual and very formative part of his youth. And he's talking about sailors, about life on the ship, about whale hunting from the perspective of the time back then. And it's a really nice one. I'm very much into the far north history and books about north. So this one was really nice to read. So this one maybe will go with me. It's Ornithology of Shakespeare. Very philosophical book about birds in Shakespeare's verses, and I'm very much into the bird watching. I spent now 1.5 months in my home country, and I kind of fell out of habit of talking in English, so I beg my pardon for my language, but I'm trying my best. Okay? Here I have really huge, really admire booktubers so much, but I really wanted to try what it is to stand in their shoes. And it's hard, guys, it's hard. So the people who do it, you are just my heroes. And I mean, like, YouTubing is very hard, generally speaking. So yeah. So here I have, okay, what do I have here? I have this one, for example. Ta-da! It's Watchmen. Original edition in English, which I bought, I think, kind of like second hand. And it was a little bit, it was for sale. And I think I bought it in the US in 2014 or 15 when I was there. Because it has a little bit like broken cover. That's why I was able to get this one for a very cheap price. Okay, I'm back with you with one of my favorite books. It's been just given me back from my friend, and it's called The Outrun Memoir by Amy Liptrot, and it's a movie now, fictionalized, which I'm very happy about. I didn't see it yet, but this is an autofiction book which is the staple of the genre for me, to be honest. I don't know if it's the best autofiction book, because I guess like with autofiction books, the main trick is if you just click with the writer or not. And I definitely clicked with Emily Liptrot thoughts on sobriety, on addictions, on cold swimming and bird watching, and kind of reconnecting with her roots, with her family, with her being the dweller of the islands. And it's one of the most beautiful books. And what I really love is the actual edition. It's Russian publishing house called Ad Marginem. And they always make such unusual layout. So inside there are photos. I hope. My hope is that they kind of had these photos from the author, or like, I don't know, but like anyways, the layout is so beautiful. I like it much more than the original edition in English, because original edition feels a bit too happy. And this one is pretty moody, and I like it. And I need to put it back to the place where it belongs, and it belongs to my autofiction shelf. It's not much space here, to be honest. And some books which are... okay, let's leave it here. There are some of the books that I didn't read yet, and they are like from Olivia Lane, for example, and I know they are good, but I still didn't reach them, and I maybe won't reach them in the close future. Anyways, let me show you these ones. These are paperback editions of the books Choice and Gift by Eva Edith Eger. They are about her experience in the concentration camps during the Second World War, and how she became therapist in the later years, and how her experience formed her, shaped her, and how she sees the world. These two are very powerful books. This one made me cry so much. I mean, like, it's a very hard book to read. This one is easier because it's kind of like her like self-help type of book from the Holocaust survivor. This one is more like memoir. And the special thing about these books is actually is that they were designed by a designer, and they were art directed by me. So I kind of art directed those covers, and they made me extra proud. Yeah, I think this is the part which I really need to address more on my YouTube channel. I'm a letterer and book art director. So here is the shelf with sliver of the books that I art directed, or for the books for which I presented lettering services in this or that form. Like, for example, here I simply did the lettering part in this book. In this book, for example, I did adaptation because sometimes the publishing house has the book cover and it needs to be translated into Russian, and it's really easy to get this very generic type font, but here is calligraphy and here is like pencil written something. So what I do adaptation. I take the English, English title, I kind of mimic the style and I do the adaptation. Or for example, what do we have here? Like in this book, now there is like, yeah, I think that in the original version of this book, it's the letters, A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. And the original version of this book, I think they use type, but we don't have font like that in Cyrillic alphabet. So I had to kind of redraw the letters, add up the ones which were absent and which are absent in the English alphabet, and create this lettering piece. I also what I did, or for example here is also my lettering here, like very like handwritten type of lettering. This book is from Victor Martins from Brazil, and the book is called Here the Whole Time. So yeah, and here is one of my favorite books, that's also adaptation. If you look at the original cover from the Empress of Salt and Fortune, I made the mimicking of the style. And I have a lot of pictures. I have a lot of letterings that I did originally, like for example this one. Let me show you. This big boy from John Vinn, like Shadow of the Gods, right? The title is Shadow of the Gods, yeah. The first book of the trilogy, I believe, and I think the second part is already published, and maybe the third as well in English, but in Russian we only have one part. And I art directed the cover. I chose an artist. We made this beautiful art. It goes like this. Very beautiful. And I did lettering. So yeah, so these are the books that I have. Some of them I worked on them. Some of them are just like the ones that my friends wrote. I have a lot of friends who write, and I try to support them as much as I can. And I sometimes work on the book covers for the books that my friends wrote. So I also have some art books, and this one is art book by Bobby Chu, Unusual Unicorns, which I bought, I think, on a Kickstarter, and I shipped them to my friend's house who lives in Oregon States in the US, because it was either impossible or too expensive to ship them to Russia, and then she brought them to me, and it's like very beautiful art book from one of my favorite artists and art educators. Just look at this. And I bought actually not only Bobby's book but also Macei's book, and I actually met Macei in Barcelona this summer because she was visiting, and we met, and I have her book as well, and she's doing amazing art. Amazing. She's just like, yeah, I regret that I didn't have this book with me back then, because I can ask her for autograph, but I think they're signed, right? I think they should be signed. I'm not sure. No, they're not signed. It would be lovely to sign them with Macei, but like, yeah, maybe later. And I think we kind of need to be going to the end of this very hectic and very weird video, and I will show you 2 tomes of Mists of Avalon from Marion Zimmer Bradley, and these editions, just like, they are outstanding. The artist is outstanding, the colored paper is outstanding, and they are just absolutely insane inside. There are like black and white illustrations. Here is color illustrations. So, and unfortunately it's also very heavy books and I cannot take them with me, so they still stay here. So, and now let's speak about the books that I will be taking with me, and some of them are also very thick and some of them are heavy, but I have to make choices, right? Let's check out a couple of books which I will be most probably taking with me. I really want to take with me this book. It's Irish folk tales and legends, assembled and edited by William Butler Yeats. Irish fairy and folk tales, selected and edited with introduction by Y.B. Yeats. And this book is translated by very, very important to me translator, and it has amazing, beautiful arts inside, illustrations, just like they just blow my mind really. And as thick as it is, it's actually pretty light, because the paper is very soft with this one, so I will be taking it with me. Most probably I will be taking this one. It's by Jaume Cabré. It's called Voices of Pamano, and the book Les Veus del Pamano, Jaume Cabré. And the book is originally written in Catalan, and I really want to know more about Catalan culture, and I am as far as from reading freely in Catalan as I can be, because I will just start this year to learn Catalan, but I think I'm very far from reading like modern fiction in this language. But I'm very excited to read this one. I saw it in a bookstore, I saw the name of the author, and I realized immediately that most probably it's Catalan author, and Catalan he was. So I'm guessing this one. Also most probably I will be taking this one with me. It's called Night on the Galactic Train. I don't know how it is called in English, unfortunately. I think it should be called like that, Night on the Galactic Train. And it's by a Japanese author, Kenji Miyazawa. And I saw in the beginning of the year with my friend, I saw animated movie based on the story. And the story is very beautiful. It's about like connection with people. Of course it is about death and cats. I mean, the heroes of the animated version are these cute cats. I presume that here they won't be cats, because I think it's mangakas who made heroes into the cats. But I really want to read this one. It was published, I think originally it was published in kind of like 1930s, I think it was published. I cannot see, because the author actually died in 1933, so the stories were written in the beginning of the 20th century. And yeah, I love Japanese culture and I love all the stories. And this book was given to me as a gift by a very dear person, so most probably I'm taking this book with me. And I'm also thinking about taking Dr. Zhivago by Boris Pasternak with me, because this edition is absolutely insane. It's very beautiful. The paper is so good, and the illustrations, just please. It's just out of this world. I really loved how this book is presented. And I'm very proud to say that this is my calligraphy, this is my lettering. And I really want to have with me in Spain some of the books that I worked on, because they still make me remember that I'm actually book art director and calligrapher and letterer, and I really need to talk more about this. So yeah, I think about these 4 books. They're heavy. I still need to get back to packing, unfortunately. So, thank you so much for watching this very hectic video. I think I will be doing more books on videos because I still have a shelf in Spain with books, because where I live, books multiply in the space where I live. So I will be doing a little like shelf tour in Spain of my books. And I really want to talk more about the books that I read, if I enjoy them or not. And I really want to show you more of the process of my work as a book art director and letterer. And I really want to just like speak more about books, because books are good. What can I say? Yeah. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe please, and tell me in the comments what you want to know more about me and books, and what formats of the bookish videos do you like the most. Most probably I will try to do this like booktube noob video tag hashtag, where the person who really wants to do new booktube channel, he's doing this like set of questions, starting from like, I don't know where it started, but I watched a few of the videos like that, and I kind of found really interesting book channels through this tag, and I think that I will do this video as well, but I will do it in Spain with better light and a better position, because my back hurts because I'm sitting on the floor, and I really just need to go packing. So see you in the next one. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you have meaningful relationships with your library. And if not, that's also okay. Some people just don't need to store piles of books. But most probably you are the person who needs this.